Three of Wands is we're waiting for our ships to come in. This is returns on what we've done. Don't forget the cards that come before the Three of Wands are the Ace of Wands and the Two of Wands. You know, you had a spark, you had an idea, something you wanted to create, something got started there. Two of Wands, you make a decision, take it in a new direction. Three of Wands, now we wait to see what returns are coming in from the efforts that we've put in. Now, if this is a romantic relationship reading for you guys, this may be to do with a long distance relationship. I get that when I see the Eight of Wands, the Three of Wands. Also, the other thing is the conversation. I feel like I have to say this. The conversations that take place this week, or the information that comes in, I feel like it's something that someone tried to avoid in the past. But crunch time, guys. It's whatever. It may not even be you. It's a general reading, right? So it may be that somebody else was trying to avoid this conversation, but it can't be avoided. It happens this week. So with the Three of Wands, have a look. This person's waiting now. The thing with this card is it's never a surprise because you know how much effort you've put in. You know what you've done so far. So it's you get back returns on that. And in fact, you have the Six, but I'm jumping ahead here, but we have the Six of Pentacles underneath it. And that's balance as well. What you give is what you get back. So that's very much a message here. Now, there aren't any surprises. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then this message is probably not for you. It's been strange. I said this in a few other readings as well. The general readings have felt more like personal readings this week, a little bit last week as well. So it may be that there's only like one or two people that this refers to or relates to rather. But with the Three of Wands here, yes, waiting for some news to come in, waiting for some information to come in. It may be from overseas, doesn't have to be, but basically it's not just about waiting. I always say this, there's no wait and see energy in the tarot. Even with cards like Temperance, where we're asked to like have patience, we're meant to be doing something else while we're having the patience. And with the Three of Wands, this is, do you have a plan of action in place? Because what you think's coming in is probably what is going to come in. Now we have the Eight of Wands coming up at the heart of your reading. The card at the heart of the reading is the focus, what everything revolves around, and it's around this communication. Like I said, it finally feels like that conversation is had or the information is received. This is also when the energy picks up. You know, things start moving again. And I know things have been kind of stagnant. They've been very intense, but very stagnant. So this kind of things pick up. Things pick up for sure here. Now, if you're having communication or conversations with someone, you can kind of take it for what it is. It's very straightforward communication. And have a look. Like, this is what the person's kind of, this is what it feels like. It's not even specific information. I think it's the chance just to have that back and forth. There hasn't been that opportunity in a situation. Now, it doesn't have to just be romantic, right? If this is a work reading for you, then it kind of feels like you've done everything, like applied for it, done whatever you needed to do. And now you're waiting to have that conversation, the interview, right? The kind of chat with someone to kind of prove yourself or to say, well, this is what I've done, or this is why I'm qualified for this. But we have the Seven of Swords in the past. Now, I will say this, if this is about one-to-one relationships, like one-on-one, be that romantic, family, friends, whatever it is, even with a colleague at work, either someone lied in the past or they did not want to deal with their situation. I'm getting they did not want to deal with the situation thing more than anything else. We have the Seven of Swords here. This is the liar, cheater, deception card. But have a look at this guy. You know, it's risky. Maybe someone didn't want to take a risk in a situation. Maybe you were trying to get someone to get involved in something, or they were trying to get you to get involved in something. Remember, it's general, right? It goes both ways. And it almost feels like where someone didn't want to take a risk in the past, now they're either explaining why they didn't want to, or it gets cleared up. There is a clearing up or whatever this mess is. And it does feel, it feels kind of messy. It feels kind of messy. And that's kind of weird because it hasn't, not too much has been done about this, if this makes sense at all. Because we have the Three of Wands. We've only had the Ace and the Two. But it may be that, you know, a great start was had, like, you know, whatever the situation is, but someone just didn't want to deal with it. Or they were afraid to take a risk. Now, this can be last week, last month, last year. It's just the fact that it's what leads to the present. Where does this Seven of Swords energy lead to? Now, this could be someone also working on something in secret. Now it's like you're ready to reveal it. You're ready to say whatever it is that you've been working on in secret. The reception seems good. We have the Six of Pentacles coming up in the present. This is balance. This is give and take. Now, I always say that somebody has to go first when this energy comes up. Yes, it's balanced. Yes, it's, everyone's doing something here. He's giving away, he or she, never know with this deck, is giving away money to the poor people, right? The children here. But it looks like he's doing the giving and they're doing the receiving. But they're also giving him the opportunity to do something nice, to give away the surplus, to do this act of kindness, which would obviously make him feel good or her feel good. Now, that's coming up in the present. So I feel it's very practical, very stable energy. Anyway, pentacles are tangible representations of our security and our stability. So use this opportunity this week, guys, to really clear up something. If you're not sure where you've stood, if you feel like you've been giving too much and someone else hasn't been, this might even be a conversation with someone who ghosted in the past, or they just disappeared. They noped the hell out of a situation. Now you're like, what happened? And it comes out. It does come out. It changes everything. If you can have this conversation, and not everyone will, right? We have free will. We have choices. The opportunity is there to do this. But I think you know what to expect. And that's the sticking point. Sometimes when we know what to expect, and if it's not in alignment with what we hope for, we'll try to avoid it. But it's time to face the music. Whoever this person is, it's time to face the music about whatever has been going on. And it changes everything because we have judgment coming up here as a future energy. Now, if you thought you'd missed out on something, or it didn't really fully take off with the Three of Wands here, or you weren't ready to face something in the past, but now you are, it feels like you get a second chance. That's what judgment is. We always see the dead rising up from their graves here. They have a second chance at life. But it does mean complete and utter transformation of what was. If this is you reconnecting with a lover, a friend, or whatever it is, treat it like it's brand new, because with judgment coming in, it will be brand new. They're not going to live the same lives. They've had to leave that old life behind. Now they're getting a second chance at life. Yes, but it's a brand new life. Judgment is also about a judgment call that needs to be made. So this is not just an exchange of information. We have the Eight of Wands sat above judgment. This is about discerning what that means for your future, because ultimately judgment talks about looking back. We look back at the cycle we've been on, understanding why we did the things that we did. Forgiveness comes in with judgment too. It doesn't mean that you move ahead with this person, this company, whatever it is that you finally get to clear the air with. That's what I'm getting here. It means that you get to decide where you're taking this into the future. If that's by yourself, you get closure on it. You think, great, now I get a second chance at going for another job, starting another relationship, connecting with someone else. Great. Then that means that. Or the relationship or this aspect, whatever this refers to, or for you, you get a second chance at that. But I like it because you get this kind of sense of balance first. What am I giving? What am I getting? It can't just be, this talks about give and take as well. Both people communicating. This is someone stealing. I don't know what they stole, or what they did not want people to see. But whenever the Seven of Swords shows up, it won't show up as in, oh, someone's lying to you. It's more a sense of, oh, there have been lies here, or someone's been hiding something, but it's about to come up. It's about to be revealed. And I don't think it even comes up from a third party. It comes up from the horse's mouth. That's what it feels like here with the Six of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands, But like I said, I started saying for the Six of Pentacles, somebody has to go first. Who went first here? Did he offer the coins and the kids showed up? Or did they come up and hold their hands out and that's why he gave the money? Somebody has to go first here, and that's going to be the kicker. Who goes first? It leads to massive, massive transformation though. Massive transformation. So what's the advice? The advice is the King of Swords. So that's air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Doesn't mean you're dealing with one. They just lend their characteristics to the card, and he's a great communicator. There's a sense of knowledge here, Sagittarius. He knows. He knows. So whatever this was, if this was you when you didn't want to deal with it, if you just left a situation, you know why you did it. And you have knowledge now about it. That's what judgment says too. We look back, not to kind of beat ourselves up over what happened. It's to release it, to understand, to take the lessons from it and to move forward. And both the King and Queen of Swords are that. That's why they have so much knowledge, because they've experienced so much in their life. And it's now you're at a place where you understand why everything happened. And if you don't understand it going into this week, I feel you're a lot closer to understanding it by the end of the week. And a lot of that is to do with communication. Now, the Eight of Wands can be opportunities coming in as well. And maybe that's what you're waiting for. This is not about talking to anyone. It may be that, you missed out on an opportunity in the past. The energies can play out in so many different ways. And now they're coming in again. And that's what you're waiting for. You've been waiting for this to come back around again. There's a kind of very Wheel of Fortune energy coming in with this reading. If this is a relationship, it's very important that it's fair and balanced. It must be fair and balanced, or there's no future for this anyway. It can't be. One person cannot take control of 100% of the relationship. It's 50% each person, right? Whether that's romantic or whatever. If this is work, you can't be there working hours after your shift's done without fair and equal compensation. This is not about that. The world will treat you how you demand to be treated. And this is about fairness, asking for balance here. I will give happily, but I expect it back as well. If you don't get it back, then it's figuring out where you go from there. Now, going back to this King of Swords as your advice, he speaks his truth. So it may be that if this is you, if you were not ready to reveal something in the past, you would be now with him. But from a very strong, it's not like a reluctantly, oh my God, I have to confess kind of thing. It's a very kind of, he's a very dominant energy. He's very strong. His word is his oath. Like, he stands by his word. The truth is very big for him, and he will do what's right for everyone. He's a king. That's what they do. Very interesting reading. I mean, it's very powerful energies. A lot of it is to do with this energy, and it's the clearing up of something. That's the main thing that's coming through. It's clearing up something so you can move forward. This is facing the future that fear. Like, so if you've been dogged by, a difficult past, something that either you did, someone else did, it doesn't even have to be a conversation with this person. Remember that, if those people that think, I don't want to get involved with an evil ex, or I don't want that friend back in my life, you don't have to. Maybe you get the closure yourself now. Some other opportunity comes in, or some energy comes in and shifts everything. But there is usually communication when this Eight of Wands shows up. I was going to say Six of Wands for a moment. He's a great communicator. And it's something that you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for this opportunity to do this. Let's see what we get for you from the Oracle cards. Well, this talks about communication too. Be willing to express love. When we express love, we begin to receive more love. So there's that, exactly what this says. What you give out is what you get back. It's going to be that. And even with the Three of Wands, like I said, the person's waiting, but they have done something first. They have a plan of action ready to go. So what is it that you've expressed? If you haven't expressed anything because you did this, maybe that's your opportunity this week to clear things up, to say it. Because that's the only way things shift forward with the Judgment card coming in. I mean, that's the only major arcana energy in the whole of the reading. And you're kind of going towards that. When we get lots of minor arcana energy, that's you. We always have free will. We always have a choice. But the way I like to see it is when major arcana energy happens, it happens to us. And we decide how we're going to incorporate that into our life. Whereas with minor arcana energy, which is like the suits, pentacles, wands, etc. It's more the actions that we're taking to initiate things. To push ahead, how we're turning fate into our destiny. So there's big time expression. I said that right from the start that, this week is a week about communication. The fates, the fates, the fates. I love this card because it's like the Star card. It is a new beginning. It's hope that comes in from new beginnings. So I get that from this as well. But the best way to explain the fates card, and I know it all the time. I go to say it in a video and it kind of escapes my brain. But it's the Serenity Prayer. So, God, the universe, angels, spirit, the flying spaghetti monster, whatever you believe in. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think that's right. But it's number 17. That's the Star card in the tarot as well. So I always get a very kind of a strong connection with the Star card with this card. So it's about discernment again. And that's what came up here, right? You'll know once you kind of look at this, where's the balance in this situation? Because it feels like you get all the information that you need here. especially if you're willing to face it now, or whoever it was, is willing to now face a situation they were not willing to face before. And even if they're not willing to face it, this is someone else and they're still not willing to face this. You've kind of said everything that you can say. There's your answer as well. And that's where the judgment call comes in, the discernment. Can you accept the situation the way it is? Do you have the courage to kind of go for it? Or is the wisdom in this that, to know that this is done. This is a done deal. Because that's the other point of the King of Swords. He doesn't just communicate things. He knows. He has immense knowledge. He's the advisor. He's the consultant. It could be someone else that has this answer for you. But it's your advice. So I kind of feel like it's telling you, what you kind of know about this. If you came up there, I'll take the one. Oh, gosh, that I saw, which is that one. All right, it says, dear you, it might be hard to believe you'll ever get to where you want to go, feel the way you want to feel and find peace and security, but you can. There's lots to celebrate in this life, but first you need to let go of this attachment to achieving certain results. And that could be this, right? I mean, if we've got transformation coming in, chances are it won't look the way you expect it to anyway, but this is our expectation. We expect it to look a certain way. It's easy to get caught in the endless loop of wanting this or that so you can feel safe. The only way out is to surrender the attachment. Empty yourself so you can be filled with something new. The compulsion will be lifted and peace will come. Trust that something better awaits, that something new will open up and you will see new opportunities for fulfillment. The truth is, whenever you get into the loop, what you are really looking for is spirit. That connection is where the power, the peace and the purpose lies. Everything else follows after that. Give yourself a hug. We've got you. Loving you so, so much. And that's the main thing here. Whatever this clears up, as much as we go in expecting it to be a certain way, things can shift. And that's the kind of wild card here with the judgment. Yes, it's a second chance at something, but what? Second chance in this situation, a second chance at a job, second chance at a relationship, or second chance at you to be the person that you want to be. Live your truth, speak your truth, live authentically. There's a great opening up here. And this, if you've been feeling overburdened, or fearful, because this can be a fear response when we don't want to deal with something. It feels a lightening up of that. They do say confession is good for the soul. As much as I said it doesn't feel like a confession. There is an element of that, like getting that monkey off your back finally.